Oh, sick. So Ned,
Yeah.
it's involving a severe operation where, so I can stream from Zoom to you.
Yeah.
So what I need to do there's going to be a 20-second delay on this. So what I need to do is get up a, so yeah, see, is get up a link of, I need to stream to Twitch and then share my screen from Twitch onto a thing with me and young Ian.
Right.
And then that gets streamed to YouTube. Problem is, it's going to lag, but it could be quite good.
Yeah.
Right. Let's try. Right. How do we do this? Let me think this through. Let's start streaming. Let's get a lineup sort of first. Calendar team creator manage. Right. So now I need to go England. Broadcast gameplay, Twitch. Giants versus England. Start broadcasting now. Let's find Twitch. That's down here and send that to Yummy. What? Share this. Um, Can I test the volume? But that was working fine. But that was working fine.
Every time I try, I miss the mark. Looking for the wrong thing, trying hard to fit in. Do I even care at all? Can you show me how to love right? Show me what it feels like to belong. Do you really
But that was working fine.
want this be the real thing? Do I even care at all? Send me a call, you could be free. You don't need to worry, but you could be free. You don't need to worry. Not gonna stop, I'm gonna keep on running. Yeah, I'm gonna keep on running. I'm gonna keep on running. No, I'm never gonna give it up. Not gonna stop,
But that was working fine.
I'm running. Yeah, I'm gonna keep on running. If you think I'm just gonna give it up, I won't stop. Pray for a miracle. Pray for a miracle. Pray for a miracle.
No, that's fine. Let's test that out. Hopefully this works.
Hello, hello.
Oh, hello, mate. How we doing?
Good, mate. How are you?
Not bad at all, thank you.
Oh, we're
I'm
on.
very
Bloody hell.
excited for this. Right. I hope this works.
Yeah, fingers
Hang on.
crossed.
I think. Right.
And so
Hello, hello.
if this is live on YouTube now,
All right.
you.
Streamer's on.
Not at all, thank you.
That's
Oh,
working.
we're on. Bloody
I'm
hell.
going to put my video on as well because I reckon that's probably
I hope this works.
a good thing to
Yeah.
do.
Fingers
Hang on,
crossed.
the headphones again.
So there's some sort of delay on this. Ah, okay. I need to mute that thing, otherwise it's gonna be really distracting. Okay.
Right. So, yeah, I'm trying to think. I'm just thinking this through in my head.
If this is live on YouTube now,
So if you're able to mute the streamers on.
I've muted the Twitch, so I can see that, but I can't hear it because I think
Perfect.
there's also somewhere some sort of feedback from that Twitch.
Got you.
There's some sort of
Because yeah, I can hear in the back.
Oh wait, I can still hear something.
Is that my? Oh, am I gonna have to mute my? I'm trying to. I'm trying to work out how I can broadcast.
Wait, if I'll try and log on to this YouTube link you sent before.
That will
See
have
what
a
I
big.
can-
That's
what I
got
can
like
hear.
a 20-second delay.
Can't hear it because I think there's also somewhere some sort of feedback from that Twitch. Okay. Right, so it's live on Twitch now, on YouTube even now.
Oh, mate,
So are
I'm being
you
really
in the
stupid.
YouTube at the moment?
I'm being really stupid. That's
Got
why.
you. Okay, fine.
Right.
So then I can unmute that.
Yeah, you should be able to get sound through
That's fine.
headphones or something like that.
Yeah.
Perfect.
But I just need to make sure they're going through.
Right.
If this works, this is quality. And then, should I be able to hear something through the Twitch?
There should-
I'm not sure I can hear any volume through that.
I've put it really low.
Okay.
I might turn it up just slightly.
Do they have any commentary on that?
I've turned commentary off, but it's got like ambient
Okay,
noise
fine.
on.
Don't
So
worry
it should
about it.
hope. Yeah. What I'll do is I'll keep that low, and then we can play around with it as we go. But
Yeah.
otherwise, do you reckon we're ready to?
I think we're ready to rock, mate. Let's get sharing and let's go.
Right, let's go. So let me work out how to do this. This was.
I'm
Right.
so keen. This is exactly what I wanted to do from the moment you started sharing it. I was like, this is just gonna be brilliant. Just the opportunity now to start slagging off Mano is going to be unreal.
Yeah, don't worry. I made sure you and Maine are. It's a very difficult team selection. Actually, we'll talk about it. We'll talk about it once we get going.
Yeah.
Myself in the commentary box. Send that to.
I reckon tweet the link as well, mate.
Yes. Copy that. Let's get onto the old. I need to remove that. I think.
Realise I look terrible at it. Fucking hell. I guess they can't see us, so that's fine. I've always got a face for radio, so this will work well.
I think when we pop up, we get the face pops up in the top right.
Oh, does it? Okay.
Yeah. Let's pop that there. Right, I'm gonna. Okay, I'm not. I've like deliberately turned myself away from the TV, so I can't see what. So I can't see what's going on behind me.
Oh, is there a lag on that other TV?
Yeah. So.
Or you could even turn the TV, then turn the screen off, mate. Just keep the PS4 running in the background.
I'm gonna keep it because there are a couple of times I have to press X.
Right, got you.
Right, let's play it. Let's go.
Nice. We've got to have a look at teams and stuff.
Oh yeah, no. So they'll pop up. They'll pop up.
Very nice. Okay. Yeah.
We'll have enough time. Don't worry. Here we go.
This is good.
Hopefully, we'll get joined by some very keen Giants players today. for what is.
We probably need to keep an eye on the YouTube as well and just see who's on there.
Oh, yeah,
Thank you for having me on, Tom. I really appreciate it, mate. This is a real pleasure.
It's quite a special occasion, really, isn't it? I'm so glad you could join us. Thanks for having me on. But as I wait to be able to, the only thing with this game, okay, it's brilliant in so many ways. The fact that you can simulate games is fantastic.
Yeah.
But the loading times are embarrassing.
Oh.
It's here we go. Oh.
So it was going to be a new fixture for us this week. You said Minthurst or something.
So yeah, we
were
were
the Oval as well.
We
Perfect.
were meant to play in Midhurst, but instead we've got an evening T20 game.
Nice.
between
Under the
England
lights. Yeah.
So Ben, I think the teams are about to come up. So do you want to
Are
talk
they?
us
Oh,
through the teams
perfect.
when they come up?
Crikey. Well, start with England first. A very classic lineup, I think, for England. Roy, Bairstow, Root, Morgan, Butler, Stokes. Oh, hang on.
Oh,
I've lost that.
It's gone too fast.
Too far.
The Giants team is one that's been sort of selected on a little bit of form, a little bit of people who are most likely to actually watch these streams. But we've got Brian captaining, and I don't think I'm not sure if you noticed, Ben, but over the recent weeks, Brian's hair has gone grey.
It's got grey. I thought it had. I mean, it's quite tough. I don't know if you follow his tweets, but his Twitter is good fun. Oh, and England have won the toss.
Oh, it's definitely worse. Definitely worse.
Having a bowl first.
Oh,
Yeah,
no.
I mean, England do like to chase, but crikey, that's never a good sign for the Giants, is it?
You've got a hard pitch of the Oval. I was really hoping that the England would want to bat first, really. But
it's going to be an absolute road. Oh, who have we got? Finesse. I mean, can we pause and just have a look at the lineups at all?
I'll see if I
Because
can
we need to just run through that.
Right, let's go. I hopefully I'm going to
Score.
Oh no, it's not. We'll have to wait then.
Oh right, fine.
We'll just wait, and we'll go from there. Yeah, because we need to be able to see this fantastic squad we've got going.
Who have we got opening up? Is it Ketan Jay Finesse? Of course, of course. Ketan he's in a bit of nick, isn't he?
He really is.
It'd be interesting to see how he faces the Tom Curran opening up as well.
I thought it could be. I think it's Chris Wokes.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
It's a shocking lead from Chris Wokes.
Well, I mean, the current conditions, you can't get to the barbers. Some of football is looking in good nick, but I'm sure Chris Wokes doesn't have that. Here's the lineup. Talk us through it then.
Jay Finesse and Ketan Amin. I mean, a good opening pair. Finesse is he's either in for 60 or 70, or he's out within 2 overs, which it's a spectacle if nothing else. Ketan's in nick, so fingers crossed we can get some runs from him. Run Machine Stevens. I mean, easy selection. Number 3 does hold down the innings well. Feeks. I mean, 9-2 fields is all you need to know about Jack Feeks, but he does score runs. Alkins, Finesse, and Weston in the middle is a stellar middle order there, I think. And Creasy, Ola, Finesse, always good for a couple of runs, and then Young. I like good promotion for Young to 10 over Main at 11. I mean, yeah, I think that's the right decision ultimately at the end of the day. But Main's good. He's got some runs in him if you need them. But it's a strong team. It's a strong team. I'm surprised T. Weston's left himself out there. But fair enough.
I decided to go for H. Weston, took the Weston slot.
It's just the spin. I think the spin in these conditions as well is just a really useful variation to have, and when you don't have to rely on Jay Finesse's pies, that's always quite nice.
I think you're right. Having the option of some mystery spin.
Yes.
Spin from both ends is certainly the way to go here, especially the Oval on quite a firm track. I think if Imran Tahir's season's anything to go by, I'm not sure it is, but we'll see how it goes. Right. Don't forget we've got the spin of Tom Alkins as well, who's been in
of course
fine form. He's been in fine form.
Opening up.
Go.
Oh, nice. That's a proper shot. James Finesse. He's green one through the covers. Thanks very much, lads.
Thanks for coming, Chris Wokes. That's get that picture framed. Fantastic stuff. I don't think we'll see much more of that, to be honest. But it's good positive stuff. If
that was Jay Roy, that's out second slip. Thanks very much, but not James Finesse in the middle of the bat. Lovely to see. That's a really nice shot as well.
Tell you what, I love this good positive start from Finesse. He's really got Wokes thinking where he's going to bowl that next ball, and he's all over him.
Well, so it's funny over the years having umpired probably too much of James Finesse batting. He's a very good player for see ball, hit ball. It treats every ball on its merits very well. So it's good to see that he's carried that through to the top level of the game.
Oh no, definitely.
Oh, good leaves there. I really like that leaf.
It's just good cricket.
It is good cricket.
Okay, Wokes into bowl. Finds the man. It is a good start for the Giants, though. I was very worried that we could be seeing a wicket first ball, really, to be honest. But
yeah, I mean, as I said with James, that you never really know what to expect. But I mean, again, he's just smoking one through the covers there again. Brilliant cricket.
It's just a fine start from the Giants. It's really good. I'm not too sure about what Wokes is bowling here. I think he still thinks this is a 50-over game and that James is going to give him a couple, just leave it, just watch the ball. But no, Furness straight out the traps and
he's definitely just hit him completely off his line with this early attacking. He's just spraying everywhere.
I'll be surprised to see if Wokes got to
That's
give him
a
a
flop.
second over after this. Oh,
That's a bad drop. That's a really bad drop. Rash.
What's Rashid doing at point?
Oh no.
That could be a very costly drop. One of the Giants' best batsmen put down in the opening over of the game.
Oh wait, no, it
was actually Moeen's got a game.
Moeen, wasn't it?
Moeen's got a game. Wow. Here we go. The extra ball in the over due to the wide earlier on. And taking it short extra. Fantastic. Great start for the Giants here.
Really positive start that. I don't think James will be too nervous about that drop, but he can sometimes just be a little bit shaken if he gives the one chance early on. But if he settles himself down a bit, a few calming words, he normally gets himself back in gear. So hopefully that's what the old head on the shoulders of Ketan Amin can provide.
Oh, definitely. I think a man in form. I'm sure his family's watching. Oh,
not another drop. Oh.
So my other observation from this game is everyone throws left-handed.
Oh really?
Don't know why, but that was another left-handed throw. Who's dropped that? That's good. That might be costly. I'm sure Ketan's entire family is watching again. So.
This one is Rashid.
That is Rashid. Oh dear. Well.
But yeah, I mean, I've also seen better shots. I think first ball from Ketan.
Yes. Yeah. Go with a flourish there.
Wait there.
James very patient.
Good.
His build up now.
Yeah.
It's very good.
Was that Jofra?
That is the danger
Or was that Chris
man.
Jordan? Yeah. Okay.
I believe it's Jofra. I believe Jofra is definitely in this side.
He had the earrings in.
Yeah. It could be a.
That's a really nice shot, actually, James. Good shot.
That's brilliant.
He does turns it off his hips nicely. Came across his stumps.
A little bit high on
Predicted
the
the
back,
shot.
but his head was over the ball. He's controlled that all the way to the fence.
Yeah.
Fantastic start.
Threaded the needle as well when you've got long leg and backward square. Ooh, that's a big swing.
Really trying to make the most of the power play here. The first 6 overs. Before I think they might plug us up scoring shots.
It's a slightly bizarre field as well, this. Yeah, that's really nicely tickled down as well.
I'm glad you pointed that out, Ben, because I can't really understand why Tom Curran's bowling such a full length to this field. Yeah, it's a bit.
He's got third man and long leg. Well, he's either going to be bowling. He should be bowling bumpers here, and he's bowling. As you say, he's pitching it up quite nicely.
It's clearly not quick enough for James, really. James is on him in a flash again.
Sharp bit of fielding, actually.
Yeah, that looked like Jofra down there. You've got to wonder what Joffre's doing out there. Oh, tell you what. Here we go.
I can understand that. Gone though to the Penner School of Captaincy. If one over in, one over out, quick changes. So
everyone gets a bowl. It's happy days.
James does need to be careful here to not have his eyes light up too much.
Long on out on the fence, and that's a position that I think James would have been looking to target. So it's good field placement there.
Actually, smart running there. I was concerned that they were going to turn and come back for 2.
Yeah, no, it's good communication from the opening pair. I believe this is the first time they've opened together in the Cricket 19 world. So it's good that they're forming that partnership already. Ketan, because James has gone for it so much, I think Ketan's actually got a bit of time to really see the ball a bit and play himself in slightly. I know it's a T20, but we've seen before that when Ketan gets in, he goes big.
What happened there? Was that a bump ball? I look
I
like
believe
looped
so.
straight up to.
I think we got a little bump ball in there, so luckily.
Yeah, I think Ketan's role here is to kind of play the controller in the innings. Oh, that's a really nice shot. Look at that.
It's lovely cricket, that.
No risk as well. No man out. It's a really smart bit of cricket.
I'm stunned, Ben. I'm stunned by the start. This has been really impressive. I might have made.
It has been really impressive.
How's Rashid going to respond here?
But yeah, I think Ketan's role here is to be there at over 16, be it at 40 at over 16, and then just kick on from there.
I think you're totally right. I think to play drop anchor a bit in this T20, allow the other players around him to really go at the ball hard, and as long as Ketan's around, come over 15, 16, we'll definitely have some good runs on the board. Sublime, absolutely sublime. You can see his tail's up. He's got pure confidence in his here.
I've had a couple of buffering issues on my end, so I'm now back onto the stream I think you have, rather than my own stream.
Okay. Perfect.
Although it's still a little bit low quality, so apologies.
James taking a boundary off the first ball of the over really releases a little bit of pressure there. It allows him to really scope out the rest of the over and look for that bad ball.
Well, I mean, a lot of people, I think, overcomplicate T20. The way to win a T20 game is to kind of consistently go at 6 and over, and then have 2 or 3 big overs. And the way you go at 6 and over is hit a boundary off the first ball of every over. To be honest, it's not that complicated. So a style that's actually pretty well suited to someone like James, who's able to hit the bad ball and able to hit a couple of good ones for 4 as well, which is quite a nice way to play, and that's a proper shot as well.
He's missed his Yorker there. Nice half volley, and James has made sure that he's paid for it. And I think there's something to be said about just sort of aiming for that, boundary early in the over, run hard when you can.
Yeah.
And you're set. Don't mind a few dot balls, really.
Yeah. I mean, it's 8 and over, eight already off this over, and the bowler could have felt like he was coming out winning from the middle 3 balls.
No, completely. There you go. That's really well played. He's taken the strike. James is 30 off 18 balls. Oh, 31 off 19 balls now. He's really flying. A really good, strong start for Giants.
Shot as well. Rocks back.
It's just great confidence
through.
cricket, isn't it? Really, really good to see.
It really is. I still like the choice of the over as well, although it doesn't look like it's a packed crowd tonight.
No, I don't really understand why. The public they haven't had any cricket for ages, so you'd think they'd really want to come in and see this one.
Well, it's not Thursday night, so the City boys can't come out and drink the pints, can they? So.
Very true. Actually, got to be in tomorrow morning.
Don't mind that though. Don't mind that. Just kind of, you've got to hit a few. You've got to hit a few ultimately.
He's had a go. It's really gone for that one.
I don't know if it's the way that you programmed him, but they've set up James Finesse very well.
He's gone big again. Yeah, he occasionally gets that rush of blood to the head, but when it's going his way, when he's seeing the ball well, he's a really difficult player to stop when he's in his stride. I think normally we'd be looking to retire him now, but it's going well, isn't it then? Just another excellent shot to end the over. It's really good play from James. 43 off 25, absolutely flying, confidence up. Can Ketan do well from the other end? Well, he's certainly going for it with shots like that. That's fantastic. And I believe that must be the 50 partnership. What a great start for the Giants here against an England side that have come off the back of a World Cup win. And do they have any answers to the Giants in such fine form?
I think I'm back in, although I might have left and come back, but I think I'm back in now. Have we just?
Fantastic.
Oh, is that a wicket?
That is indeed a wicket. Ketan's gone on the pull. He's looked for the gap and unfortunately has found the man right there at sort of a forward square there. An easy catch there for the man, for J. Roy. Ketan's gone for 9 off 7. Ben, any thoughts? I've lost Ben's audio again. I remember KP was a man for getting a quick single to get off the mark. He didn't want to get out for naught, and I think A. Stevens has followed in his boots there. Andy with a cheeky quick single there to get off the mark. Looks like these two are really going to try and push it between the wickets. They're both quick lads. Should fly between the wickets and really get those quick singles going. Ben, I'm not sure if you're alive.
Waiting.
Are we back on?
Oh, hello.
Hello. Sorry.
No
My
worries
internet's
at
being
all.
flaky. I've changed device now. I'm hotspotting myself for this, so we'll get there.
Oh. Good stuff. Well, you missed quite a tight run with Andy there, but he's got off the mark.
Oh really? Oh no.
He's got some of those nerves out of the way, and we'll see if
He's a nervy batsman when he's not got anything on the board. It's one of his only faults, I think. Oh, that's a shot though.
Have a look at the
Was that
field.
top edge?
The power play's over, and they've really decided to whack some men on the boundary.
Yeah.
Happy to give
I
them
mean,
singles.
they've got to do something here. They're kind of very much on the back foot.
It looks like you just got Wilkes going to bowl bumpers at James here. But I think they're quite happy just to sort of bump the ball around, keep ticking it over. You could probably run 2 to the fence at some of the longer boundaries.
It's a big ground, the Oval. If
Yes,
you
indeed.
run hard, you get rewarded. I beat this. So so what Wokes can't bowl full and straight here because otherwise you get pinged back over his head, just like that, just like that.
Tell you what, here's your job with TMS right now.
I mean, in the field like that, what are you doing? Putting it up at half volley length.
He thinks he's mentally superior to Andy Stevens, which is his first mistake.
It's his zone, I think.
That was a sensational shot, really, from Stevens.
Proper shot.
So early in his innings as well, shows such confidence. I think they keep flashing up some serious batsmen, though. I am concerned. I don't know what a pass score would be here, Ben. What are you thinking?
I mean, these days in T20, it's 180, isn't it? That's what you've got to be targeting for it to be kind of an interesting game. I think if you're playing at like Trent Bridge, something like that, you could get away with 160. But when you just got so much less on for the bowler with the white ball, it's a really tough game to play. I think it's not enough talked about how maligned bowlers are in the modern form of the cricket. We really get a rough deal, and I think more needs to be made of it. But it's the kind of way that the commercial world of cricket has gone. I'm afraid everyone just wants to see a bit of whiz bang. No one's there for the good little tiny bit of trundly medium pace. Although that is a proper shot was that from Andy or from James?
They look quite similar, so it's difficult to say. I think you're right, though. I think then the work needs to be done to try to balance the game out a bit.
Yeah.
It really is a batsman's game, and I'm not just saying this, and we're not just saying this as two bowlers commentating over
I'm saying it as a bowler.
it really is a batsman's game. Well, until I walk out to the middle, and then it's definitely a bowler. But we've actually got a comment in from the fans in the WhatsApp group. We've got Nick Main calling in. I think he might actually be playing this game, so I think we probably need to look at the anti-corruption committee. He's on his phone, but we said no way.
That's a real shot. Look at that one. Sorry, go ahead.
Beautiful cricket. So at Nick Main says no way you're defending 160 at Trent Bridge with that short boundary.
I mean, I see what you're saying, Nick. It is quite a short boundary. I guess it kind of leads into as we see quite a nice hit just through into the field there from Andy. But it kind of feeds into the idea of how you can make this game a little bit more equal across bat and ball. I'd say, could we start using pink balls for T20s? Then at least you get the 5 overs of swing before it suddenly disappears. It makes it a much harder game right at the start.
Yeah, it's true. That can really benefit your bowlers like your David Willies, who really do squeeze out that swing for the first couple of overs. But then after that, you're right, it's completely a batsman's game. So pink ball, I like the idea of that. Fantastic.
And when we see the effect that bowling during the twilight period has in these day-night test matches with the pink ball, it's a completely different set of completely different setup.
We've got Nick now saying that he reckons that you could defend 100 at Southampton.
For God's sake.
We got the danger man into the attack. We got some.
He's been brought in quite late here.
Yeah, you know what? I think he do a couple of these middle overs and then they'll surely save him for the death. But you're right. Is he playing the Liam Plunkett role? Yeah, you're right.
I mean, there's no better player than Liam Plunkett for those middle overs.
Oh, I know. Just the cross seams. Thank you very much. But you look at Stevens here, 17 off 12. He doesn't look troubled at all. He's not taking any risks. He's plodding along well and supporting finesse so well at the other end.
Aerial. Oh.
There you go.
Look at that. Blimmin' heck.
Fantastic. It's really lovely these celebrations. Tamim Iqbal, eat your heart out. Celebration. He flies to 50. I have to admit, my heart was in my mouth.
Yeah, I was a Stokes at Headingley shot, that, wasn't it?
Really was.
He's going one way or the other. Smart running as well. Look at that.
Really good. Yeah, squeezing the leg by that's going to hurt. Then I think that one's really going to hurt James. It might ruffle him up a bit, but you know what? He's set. He's flying, and I think there's huge runs on.
You say it's going to hurt. I think mentally that hurts a lot more for Archer. You bowl him a good ball, but ultimately he's got a single off it.
No, I think
really
you're right.
Smart fielding.
Joffa's really cranked it up now. He's bowling at 93, 94 miles an hour. And he's really testing the batsman under these lights.
Reminiscent of the wild thing, Sean Tate, in that classic test, the T20. I think they were playing against Pakistan. He was pinging him down at 150 Ks, and it's a different game when it's coming that quickly, isn't it?
Proper heat. And you look at James there. He's really gone all around the park, quite square of the wicket.
Wagon wheel. You see those four cover drives he's played today are 4 cracking shots.
Oh, they really have. And I think that just shows that England are maybe giving them a little bit too much width to play with.
Definitely. They weren't. It was showed from the first over from Wokes. It was just a little bit too much width around off stump, and James just eats that for breakfast.
Oh yeah, it's really allowed him to settle in here. We've got some more messages from our viewers. We've got James Finesse coming in saying, at Tom Weston, didn't fancy a game today. No, James, I didn't. I really didn't.
Is he nicked off? Oh, no. What's he doing playing that shot?
The partnership breaker has come on. He's done it again. Oh, wow.
Oh,
are they? No,
If
I
they
think
review this and it's out,
I think they were thinking
Sure.
about it. But
I mean,
you
that
won't know if you
replay,
did
it doesn't
anyway.
look like he's anywhere near it, does it?
Yeah, and there you go. He's walking
Oh,
back.
he's
to the
off.
goal. 50 off 35. That's a really decent knock there from James. Well batted. I
Cracking
fear
innings.
that we might we might struggle after this. We have to really hope that Feeks gets going.
Feeks and Stevens for 10 overs is going to
Here we
be.
go.
It's going to go one way or the other, isn't it? That's not a great start from Feeks, I've got to say. Oh no.
Oh no! I saw that it was in the slot. He was right to go for it.
It
There's
was.
a long boundary out there. Oh, Feeks.
He's just checked the shot a little bit. Is his issue there? If he'd actually gone through it, he might have made was that Rashid there? Might have made Rashid actually move, but instead it just went straight. I've never seen a ball go more down someone's throat than that. Oh.
Now this is a man who's coming out with some confidence. Tom Hawkins at a non-striker's end with his wide-brimmed hat on.
Tom King Viv Olkins.
Oh, he's gone long. This is a hat-trick ball, remember?
That's one way to play hat-trick ball, isn't it? Bloody hell.
Absolutely huge from Stevens there. We really need Stevens to stick about for most of the innings here. Otherwise, I think we will definitely be struggling. We can back down the order, but I don't know. At least you've got Hawkins at the other end. He's been flying form recently.
Yeah, definitely. And when you've got someone of the prowess of Maine coming in at 11, you know that it's a team with a tail that can wag. That's for sure.
Maine will be living off his like 24 off 11 in that first game of the season for the rest of the year.
Oh, that's a shot from Stevens.
It's just lovely stuff.
I do like it when players come into T20 games and just play proper cricket shots.
Oh yeah, you got the likes of your Kane Williamsons, I guess your Joe Roots as well, and your Andy Stevensons. They're all on the same
Morgan.
level, really.
Owen Morgan, I'd say as well. Buffet bowling time, lads. Here we go. Not quite sure still why Moeen Ali's got a place in this team.
Oh, I know, right? They've seen the left-hander come in there.
That's true.
Come on, do the business. Not sure what Andy's like against the spin as well.
I mean, nothing really phases this boy, does it?
Oh yeah, you're right. You're right. Tom Curran in there under his nose, probably chatting an absolute load of rubbish. Andy just tell him you think his brother's better than him, it'll be all right.
I think we're probably going to be getting some similar chat when Andy comes in. If Joe Root decides to throw a few offies down.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Famously, Andy knows the Roots quite well. Actually, I wonder whether there'll be a little bit of back and forth between the two of them there.
You're right. I'm surprised that they haven't decided to throw Root on just to sort of get inside Andy's head. And I mean, Moeen's doing a little bit of a job here just to slow down the rate slightly. New man in, keep him unsettled. It's a good little fight back here from England.
You can't deny if you.
Oh, I think I might have lost Ben there.
If he bowls a good ball, he bowls a good ball. It's your job to make sure it doesn't get you out.
Oh, very true. Very true. And there we go. Hawkins really starting to fire there. That's a good shot. That's a good shot. He got a bit lucky that ball before, at the one that went straight on and almost on. But he's decided to cash in there on a slightly loose.
Sorry, I think my internet's being a little bit dodgy yet again. So.
Don't worry, Ben. We'll try and bear with you. It's going all right. So. I do have to say though, what do you think was going through Feeks' head as he came out the bat? You know, good position, runs on the board. What's going through his mind there to play a shot like that, Ben?
I think, as I said at the time, the ball was there to hit. It was in the slot. It was there to go straight over Cal corner, but he just checked it a little bit. And I think, if anything, it's just a little bit of underconfidence right at the start of your innings. You can't really deny a batsman that. But I think it kind of plays in a little bit to the mentality of this team that they need to create, of just go for it and play your shots. The results will follow if you follow your strategy. Oh.
Yeah, I think you're right. I don't think he can beat himself up too much about it. I remember Virinder Sehwag used to say that, if he came out failed, maybe golden duck, he'd say, oh, it's all right, because I know that next time I'll be out there scoring 50, 60, in just a few balls. So I think, Feeks is the sort of man that he's just got to stick to his game plan. It will come off sometimes. Other times he'll be found looking a little bit stupid. He's probably also still got his
Absolutely
from last week going around in his head, where he got dismissed by a James Finesse sort of mystery ball, full toss, plum, right. That's probably still sore in the memory.
Proper steak and kidney.
Oh yeah.
I go that Sehwag point you made there is really good. I don't know if you heard the point that James Anderson was making a week or two ago on the tail end of the podcast about.
I might
always really admired that attitude that Sehwag had. But yeah, no, it's a sorry, mate. I think I talked over you there. You go.
No, good. Crack on. I like that.
It was a really good little segment. They've had quite a few nice ones recently. So it's on the BBC Sounds app if anyone's interested.
Some of the moments of general cricketing gladness and sadness have been really quite emotional recently. It's definitely been
the one with the stroke a couple of weeks ago. Crikey, that got me.
That really did get me as well. That was very, very emotional stuff.
I don't mind Alkins here actually just playing and missing a couple of times. It's fine as long as he's just keeping on ticking the score over and doesn't get too worried about it, because he's a player for the last 4 or 5 overs, and I think that's fine. I wouldn't mind a kind of return to say 6 and over or so in these next 3-4 overs, and then for the last 4 overs you can step back on the gas again.
Yeah, you really don't want to lose a wicket at this stage of the game, really, and. As we see a big shot from Stevens down the ground, he's really taking the game to them. But what I was going to say is, I really like this strategy from Hawkins. He's walked out without a helmet on, and what that really does is take the bouncer out of Jofra's game. And Jofra without a bouncer is quite a one-dimensional bowler. There's no real big surprise there. So it's good, confident cricket from Hawkins to really come out without that lid on. And it's put us in the box seat, in the driving seat here. I think Stevens decides to really go after
dispatch. Always tries to go again though.
He's just got to keep his head here. Keep his head here. His tail's up. He's confident, but he just needs to keep his head.
I mean, look, we're looking at the score here. The old strategy of T20, you double your score from 12 overs. If we're getting 200, we're in a real driving seat here. I think even Nick Main would be all right with defending 200.
Yeah, I think we should probably do a Nick Main economy sweepstake today. We'll talk about it more when we see him enter the attack later on. But I'm very excited for that. And I wonder how many short pitch balls we'll see from him today. But there we go, 13 overs through. The Giants looking at a very serious Saxon position players. Stevens has come in and trying to take over from the initial impetus of James Finesse, and it's all looking quite good. England really need a wicket right now. Probably dismissing Stevens would be the first thing on their agenda, or maybe they'll just run through at the other end.
Sorry, mate, I lost you there again for a bit.
No worries. I was just summarising the position of the game. But it's looking like
that's a really nice shot. That he's really Alkins is really coming through with the Seviv attitude here with the floppy cap on.
Really fantastic cricket there from Alkins. We've got a response from Nick Main actually. He believes he's going to get 1 over and go for 15. Now, probably shouldn't have broadcast that because there are probably some bets on around the world. So we have to be careful with the anti-corruption team. But yes, I think 15 off one, Nick. I think that you might be onto something there.
All right. Yeah.
He might come on at first change, and I think that's where it might be quite difficult to bowl potentially.
Well, unless we could also get Andy Stevens's kind of 90-mile-an-hour out of nowhere rockets come through, which have been a highlight of mine for the last few weeks.
They're surprisingly quick, aren't they, Ben?
He's rapid. He's rapid, honestly.
It's a bit surprising. Didn't expect it. I didn't even know he could bowl. And then
it's a bit of the kind of reverse Steve Smith story, coming into a team for his batting and then actually or his bowling in obviously Smith's case, and completely turning it around.
No, you're right. I mean, he's putting a pretty handy knock with the bat hit. You know what, Andy? Can we just sign you on a 5-year deal right now? These some more valuable runs.
Oh, he has also obviously moved closer to the team and the training ground now, and kind of making the journey to West London. So it's always nice to see a player really commit to a team like Andrew has done.
You're right. I think there's a little bit of that sort of Mourinho attitude when Mourinho first joined Chelsea, and he made sure all the players were living within a certain radius of the training ground. And so it's really good to see maybe Andy to buy into that mentality and to buy into the idea that being close to the team is really good for the morale of the team and also just sort of the success of the team. We've had Tom Hawkins messaging as well, saying he's channeling his inner Richie Richardson. What do you think about that?
Fair enough. I think that's also a vein that's probably allowed in this form of the game too.
Some Caribbean flair. It's fantastic to see, really. Archer comes with the ball here.
Yep. Ball
A
there.
little bit unconvincing from Stevens, but he's still plodding along. Good running as well.
Slow one though from Archer there. Only 82. I'll have to see how this develops. Maybe he sometimes blows a little bit hot and cold, so we can see how it goes. Oh, there is a man out there. Oh, it's so far over him. It's untrue. Never in doubt.
He's really gone for that. Look at that. Just a little clip off the hips. And he's seen it all the way to the rope. That is absolutely fantastic stuff, Morgan.
Brilliant shot.
Yeah. He's shot along to 23 or 13. The supporting role is he wants the main job now.
Oh, really good leaves there. Really good leaves. I do love a shoulder's arm to a massive wide.
There's certainly something to be said for clipping a bowler bowling at 90 miles an hour over leg side for 6 and then just leaving the next ball. If I were Jofra, I'd be absolutely fuming. So he's really got inside his head here.
I mean, I say it often. Cricket's a mental game. In all honesty, it's simple when you're playing it, but it's the little man inside your head that's the one you need to really worry about at the end of the day.
I think you're right there, Ben. I think that's well put. It's certainly a mental game. You see a batsman set. He's got his mindset correct, bang on. Stevens is definitely one of those players who his mindset just seems to be right from the word go, and it's really proving it today as he goes for another big shot.
He's threading the needle as well. It's a really nice shot because it's no risk in it. Oh, and it's a well-deserved 50. That really.
It's a really good 50. He's been finding the boundary, consistently, easily, and some big shots there as well.
Yeah, I mean remember that for one of the first shots to Chris Wokes where he pinged him back over his head for 6. That's one of the shots of the day, I think, for me.
Oh, definitely. I can't wait to watch the highlights package later on Channel 5.
Sixer! Oh no. That's a shame from Hawkins. That's a real shame.
Absolutely nowhere. You can see what he's trying to do. He's trying to open himself up and run that one down to third man. But it's ricocheted off the keeper.
Oh.
That is really unfortunate.
Really unfortunate.
Ouch by Stokes. A really good little knock there from All Kings.
He's supported him well, and not just supported, has actually really kind of helped tick everything along as well. Oh, pinch hitter finesse is in for the last 5 overs. Though I mean, ultimately in a game of cricket, you're going to lose wickets, and when you got someone like finesse coming in now, it's not a bad time.
He seems to be love running himself out for naught, so we'll see how that. Ooh.
I mean,
Ooh.
is he just? Oh.
Tell you what, and the bat he's got as well. It's vintage. It's lovely. Everything about it.
Is that 4 scoop he's got there?
Yeah, I think it is. Yeah.
I do hope he's kind of pointing up at the dressing room to Jack Feeks and saying, "Watch and learn, my boy. Watch and learn."
Oh, certainly. Feeks won't be here at the end of that one. A bit of a play and miss there. But,
interesting, that one. Yeah.
Not quite sure what he's trying to do with it.
It's probably a little bit early in the game for that shot, Brian. I've got to be honest. But again, it's the PMA, the positive mental attitude, that's the most important part of this. Continuing on this really interesting running as well. I like it.
Oh yeah, it's much better than Brian's running has been the last couple of games. So, so it's good to see. And he looks like he's going to nick the strike there, which is it's just clever cricket. It's just clever cricket. And
I think what Andy's seen there. Sorry, Tom, you go.
I was just going to say England's Nick Main back on the bowl. Go on then.
It's smart cricket, I think, though, Andy, for Andy to take the strike now. Finesse is obviously a little bit not quite there yet, whereas Andy's feeling it a little bit. So good for him to just give Brian a little bit longer to calm himself down and then really attack for the last 3.5, 4 overs.
I think you're right. Yeah, obviously nerves are going to be flying high when you walk into an arena the size of the Oval. And just to allow Brian a little bit of time in the crease, just to calm himself down, get a bit of composure back, and then kick on. And Andy's doing a great job of sort of holding his hands through this. Shots like that.
I mean, square drive. We don't see that shot enough anymore, do we?
No.
It's a craftsman like Stevens who can really pull that one out the bag.
It's just so good to be seeing proper cricket shots and still be able to get at these sort of strike rates. It's just really good cricket. I don't think Wokes really has much of a reply here. What can he really do?
He's got 24 off 2.5. I mean, the figures probably aren't as bad as they should be.
Yeah.
He's spraying it around a little bit, although that's a really nice shot again.
It is.
He likes that gap on the offside.
You've got to question this length from Wokes. It's just, in this sort of format, you just can't be bowling that sort of length. It's there, it's drivable, and Stevens is making him pay.
And it's a risk-free shot as well. He's still
right.
all leg side, and he's bowling nice half volleys outside off stump. I don't understand. And again,
driving practice, isn't it?
I mean, this is set up for him to be tucking him up a little bit, bowling very straight, and he's just giving him nice width.
And look at that, Ben. That's just intelligent cricket again, stealing the strike.
Yeah,
it's just really good. I'm sure Brian's very appreciative of the other end. We've got another viewer comment. This one from Henry Weston. He's saying input as an off spinner. Moeen bowling from very wide around the wicket is an interesting angle. Going to struggle to spin it in from there or get an LBW. I think Henry's suggesting that you'd like to see our batsmen try and some reverse sweeps with that sort of angle. What do you think about that then?
I think we've unfortunately though got a few of the wrong batsmen at the crease to execute on stuff like that. Feeks and Jay Finesse would be all over shots like that, but I with the nicest intentions, I don't think Brian nor Andy have got those shots in the locker. I've got to be honest, but I agree with the point that's being made. It's very true. It takes a lot of wickets out the game. I think bowling around the wicket, but so it's an interesting strategy. Although I guess the idea again is to just tuck him up a little bit and try and keep him focused on the leg side. Although, as you've seen with Wokes, it's not really working, is it?
Yeah, it seems like they managed to give themselves a little bit of space outside off stump and really take advantage of not much width that Moen's given, but it's enough width. I think a conventional paddle sweep here could work quite nicely. There's a big gap there.
There's a massive gap.
Looking
Just behind square on the leg side. Yeah. Oh. As I said earlier on, the switch hit from Brian Furness is not one that I thought I'd really see very often.
No, I think he's got word from the dressing room that potentially should be trying something a little bit different, but he should probably have a look at what the lingo means first before trying anything to it. Too crazy. Thankfully, he's still at the crease. All is good. There's still batting to come, so I think they can start.
I think it's time to get cracking. To be honest, yeah, need to 160. I'd say. What do you want here? You probably want 185 if you can.
I think you're right. What's concerning me is how easy it is for them to score runs. The outfield seems to be lightning fast. The pitch seems to be pretty true. It's coming onto the bat nicely. They really need to go hard this last couple to make a score that will actually seem a little bit imposing for the England batsmen.
I think it's a big difference. 10 runs, obviously. 175 England thing. Actually, we can probably get there. 185. They go. Oh, I'm not sure. We can. It's going to be a bit more of an ask. You have to be quicker out the gate. But
I think you're totally right. All it takes is a couple of good overs. First up from the Giants, and it puts England under a lot of pressure if they say runs like 185 on the board. It just gives that little bit more wiggle room to get something wrong. It gives a little bit more wiggle room for maybe Nick Main to go for 15. I think it that should be a really good score. But Brian's struggling here a bit to get Wokes away.
He is. I think it's also a better line, to be fair, from Wokes but we need a little bit of bat and ball here. This is a little bit worrying now.
I like this field. I'm a big fan of this field. Giving them the run on the leg side and then bowling wide of off stump seems to be really clever cricket. And I just wonder why it's taken Wokes this long to work out that that's maybe a plan that's worth going to.
19th over as well, a very important over in a 20-over game. I think potentially more important than the 20th.
That's a really fantastic over.
That's a superb over.
But it was not many at all.
I think it's one it went for.
Crikey. We've got a message from the group again. We've got Ketan saying that there's been some really excellent running from Brian today. I think it's true, for a man who's low on confidence between the wickets, run himself out a couple of times. He must have really gone back to the training ground and worked on that. So it's really good to see. Maybe he's done that on the treadmill. I don't know. He's really put the work in. That's more like it.
That's a better shot. We do need a couple of boundaries now. Would be quite good.
Using the spin, he's got to be careful. Rashid bowls a pretty good wrong one, so he's just got to be careful when trying to give himself a run on the offside. But if he's picked it out the hand, then that's just a cracking shot. Can they get back for 2? They're going for it.
Got to at this stage. Oh, it's going to be really tight.
Oh, I've been complimenting Brian's running, but is it enough?
Oh, no. I think that's out. That looks quite out to me.
I mean, Ben,
that's tight.
The positive thing here, Ben, is they've got Stevens back on strike. So Brian's really taking one for the team.
Yeah.
Really good cricket there in terms of that. So, whilst he's walking back to the dressing room with 11 off 13, he's played his part here to make sure that we can really extend, get as many runs on the board as possible. We've got Henry at the non-strikers end here. Will he face a ball? I do not know.
Should be a rapid partner between the wickets, though. These two.
Definitely.
Oh, look at that! Or is that straight up in the air? I think that's gone straight up.
Oh dear, there's our set man. We've actually got a message in from Henry, which I assume must have been sent in just before he walked out to the outfield. But he said, interesting that Rashid only gets 3 overs. Be interesting to hear stats from Weston at third man to see how many times he hasn't bowled his allotted overs in a T20. Surely he's a go-to T20 bowler. I think there's definitely a point to be made there. Why are you bowling Moeen Ali so many overs when that your front line spinner isn't getting his full allocation? Ben, do you think there's any logic to that?
I mean, yes, I agree. I think Rashid he's a wicket taker first and foremost. So you've got to give him some time to take wickets. That's a really nice shot from Creasy first
Lovely
up.
from Creasy.
Clearly, well, it's death or glory really ultimately now, isn't it? So it's fair enough to have a bit of license to hit the ball. But no, with someone like Rashid, you do need to give him 4 overs. He might go for 30, but he might also take 3 wickets. So it's a tough balance to strike, and a very apt point made by Henry there. I agree. Oh, we off again. That's a really good way to finish the innings. That
I have to say, Ben, it was looking like it might have swung back in England's favour before the start of that final over, but I think those last couple of balls, squeezing out an extra 10 runs, has been really, really vital there. So that's an excellent little cameo from Creasy.
Really good cameo. 10 off 2. You can't say much better than that. I think a superb innings from Andy Stevens. Also, James Furness setting a really strong base early doors. Really important part of the innings. But I mean, ultimately, what was that? What do we finish on there? Late 170s, early 180s, something like that. I mean, if you offer England that at the start of the innings, England that they probably take it. The Giants probably also take it as well. We're in a really nicely poised position.
Yeah,
178.
What I'll do is I'll just put the scorecard up there. I think what's fantastic there is it's an excellent run to the top of the order from Furness, and it's and then Stevens managed to come in and really sustain that initial surge, and then everyone sort of tried to play around them. And
I think the 2 innings you might overlook there, Tom Alkins and Richard Creasy, I think were the most important 34 runs out of the entire lot. They're kind of instrumental for Alkins both in getting you up, assisting Andy in just making sure he could play his own game, and Creasy just kind of sticking a few nails in the minds of the England team as they go into the dressing room over tea. So really good runs all through the order there. I think both teams, to be honest, were quite happy with that. So it's going to set up a really interesting second half.
I think you're right, Ben. And what I might suggest a quick advert break until potentially past.
Yeah.
And then we might kick off the second half from there. Does that sound reasonable?
Do you need a cup of tea? So yeah.
Fantastic. Right. So what I'll do is I'll just leave this. I'll leave up the summary of the game so far, and we'll catch you back at past.
Indeed.
Thanks very much, guys. Right. Hello there, guys. We'll just be waiting for Ben, and then we'll be ready to get back on the way. A really commanding first innings there by the Giants. I have to say it surprised me um, with how good the batting was, considering how we've seen it in some of the previous games. Perhaps it's the move to the shorter format that's really done it there. I'd say James Finesse really impressive from the top. I like the fact he's got to 50 and then got himself out. Can't be scoring too many runs. It's not fair on the opposition. So that was really good to see. That was really genuinely good cricket. And then Andy's really pushed on there, and it's a fantastic innings there to really put on a score that is defendable. It's not the biggest score, is it, Ben? But it's certainly defendable.
It's not when you got the road that is the Oval, but I think, as I said at the end of the last innings, it's a score that both teams will probably go back into the hutch and think, actually, we've got a shout here. So it's going to be a really interesting second half. I think shots of the day for me, 3 come to mind. James Finesse, 4 of the first ball of the innings. Thanks very much. Andy Stevens, 6 back over Wokes' head. Thanks very much. And Jack Feeks, straight down Cow Corner's throat. Thanks very much.
Oh yes, definitely.
A brilliant result.
I have to just point out these economy rates as well. Wokes has actually pulled that back very, very nicely. But if we look at it, we see that actually what's gone quite well. I don't know if you think is the sort of fast medium rather than the more express bowling. It's some of the fast mediums got done all right. Sort of Tom Curran of this world, the Wokeses, Stokes when they're bowling the right areas. Rashid a little bit expensive there. And the express pace of Archer's potentially a little bit too much on this surface, but.
I guess quicker onto the bat, quicker off the bat is the idea. But it's surprising looking at that Wokes is in theory one of the best bowlers. I think also it helps that we bowled 4 overs ultimately. But no, maybe our analysis during the game was a little bit preemptive. I also think his last over was really quite impressive. That 19th over that he bowled really helped the England team there.
No, very, very true. That was an excellent over to Brian. I believe you're opening up. Here we go. Got Jason Roy on strike, one of the most fearsome batsmen in world cricket at the moment. So we'll have to see how this goes.
Again, a really interesting field here. Crikey, what's going to happen?
Yeah, you've gone quite aggressive from the start here, which I like to see. I like to see the trying to pick up a wicket early on. Because I think this is the way that they can really pile on the pressure. It's maybe a couple of early breakthroughs.
I've also seen I sent that one down at 94.5 miles an hour, which is good to see that I'm up for it, hitting the straps early doors.
Really gone for it. I think Roy's the sort of batsman that's also going to go for it. So this is going to be a really good power play. I think you'll find it up.
I might try and bowl the next one in his half. How about that? Slipping a gully, crikey.
Really going for it. I think there's a little bit too much width there. Roy's a man who really likes to get his hands through the ball. We've seen in Test matches before how he sort of gets stuck.
That's why I kind of don't mind that line. You put him out there, you hang it out at 5th or 6th stump, and look, he might cream you through the covers, but he also might play a shot just like that. Absolutely air it.
That's fantastic, Ben. You're really on fire today in the commentary box.
Say what you see, lads. It's not a hard game.
But you know what?
It's nice.
Not take it away from you. This is a fantastic opening over here.
I'll take it, to be honest. I'll take it.
I think we just want to be careful of this final ball that it doesn't go for run.
I'm often guilty of just relaxing a bit too much on the last ball. Oh, exactly. There we go. Is that gone for wides as well?
Oh no!
Nice take by Feeks behind the sticks, though. Crikey.
Is he going to make him pay?
Yes, he is.
Oh dear.
Oh, that's a real shame, that is.
It's a real shame. You look at quite a consistent line going on there, which is nice to see. But just to throw it away there at the end, to give him the opportunity at having an extra ball, it shows that little bit of inexperience of maybe not being playing on the T20 global circuit. I
think also interesting stat as well from that last over. I think Jason Roy then passed 5,000 T20 runs, which is a good landmark for any batsman.
That's fantastic. Thanks for picking that up. I like this sort of this bolt from the other end. Gone with Creasy. Really
Military medium. Love it.
Yeah. Line and length. We'll have to see what Bairstow does to this. I think it's something a little bit different. Probably they weren't expecting.
He's kind of taking the Paul Collingwood approach. You went from that 2010 T20 International, the T20 World Cup. Oh crikey, that's a good take as well.
Yeah, really playing at their own game. I think that was an edge and just bounced just before they reached feet. But it's a really impressive start from Creasy here, it has to be said.
Really tight lines.
You can't ask for much more. But you do wonder when the batsman will start to come after Creasy here. I think if he does bowl that consistent line and length, it's something that I think Rohan Singh has found in the past. If you're just bowling that same line and length, the batsman can come at you. And so we might see something similar.
How was that?
There we go.
Oh, got him!
Brilliant. So the batsman has gone at him, but actually he might have edged that behind. Are they going to review this? No. A little bit of chat, but Bairstow knows if he hit it. He's going to have that nice glum face as he walks off, wondering what happened.
That's an excellent bowling.
It's interesting when you've got the you always know when a batsman's hit the ball and knows they've hit the ball because they always look backwards. But Bairstow, to give credit to him, he didn't look backwards in that shot. It didn't look like. So I can understand a little bit of trepidation.
About what Richard was bowling there. He had no idea what was going on. He left behind that. 2 man out now.
We're having a bit of odd sounds are coming out of your mic, mate. I've got to be honest. Oh, that's a proper shot. Is it going to? Oh! What on earth happened there? Was that 4? It was a superb bit of fielding. Yeah, you can't bowl there, Ben. Can't bowl there. I think we've lost Tom a little bit, but I think ultimately you can't bowl half volleys on the offside in situations like this when you've not got any protection down at the cover boundary.
How am I doing now, Ben? Can you hear me?
I can hear you now. Oh, that's a really nice response, though, although it's been played well.
Really well played. It's hit high on the bat, but he's enough control over it, even with a slip in play.
Right on his tiptoes there, really tried to get as on top of it as he could. So it's a smart bit of play.
We've got another message in, just sort of going back to that stop on the boundary. I can't believe our television cameras haven't replayed that stop, because that was quite incredible. I'm not quite sure what happened down there on the fence, but
I mean, when I saw it, it looked like he was tracking the ball all the way and managed to tip it back into the fence whilst going for it, which is a phenomenal bit of cricket.
To have the awareness to really, accept that you're not going to take the catch, but actually just stop it and throw it back in, and then to chase it.
Obviously, something players at this level do practice, which is a bit of a phenomenal thing to hear in any case.
Definitely. Now let's see if Ben can finish the over strong, something that he wasn't able to do last time.
Got to say, I wouldn't be giving me a third over here. Not bowled well.
No. just too much width, really.
Yeah, I tried going pace off there, and it just didn't quite work.
No, just
Creasy
enough room
to pull the reins back.
You just gave Root enough room just to let his hands go through the ball and just ease that one to the fence. It was very low risk cricket from Root, and he's really taken advantage of a bit of width there. But yeah, you're right, Creasy to continue from this end with some just nice line and length. It's just nice to see. Although that is what I was talking about before, Ben. I think if you are bowling that consistent line and length, a player as good as Roy is going to anticipate that, use his feet, and look to hit him back over the top. But you know what? If it takes the odd wicket as well, it was enough to get Bairstow out. So we might see another wicket. That's fingers crossed.
I mean, if any young bowlers out there want to know what the slot is, I think that was it. That was just given on a very nice plate to Jason Roy.
I think the problem we might have now is that, a batsman as intimidating as Roy can really throw a ball off his line and length. As soon as he starts to go after you, it's really difficult to respond to that. What do you do next?
And some good dynamic cricket that Roy's playing as well.
Oh, definitely. I think if you're the captain, if you're Brian Finesse right now, you are really racking your brains, wondering, what to do next. Who are you gonna bring on next over?
I'd bring on Henry Weston next over.
Yeah.
You've got to completely change the tempo of the game. Look, this is just being dispatched now. Or is the man out there? Oh, the man out there!
Absolutely fantastic. Creasy's got Roy. He's been given that width. He's fallen right into the trap. There's a man on the fence. We can't identify who that is just yet. But he's gone. Fantastic. That's Andy Stevens out there.
Is it? Oh, he's bucket hand Stevens. You love to see it.
You cannot keep him out of the game. Safe pair of hands out there on the fence.
Really needed wicket that as well. Really needed. See if Creasy can do his route as well. I think the Giants will start to taste blood a little bit.
Oh yeah, you got two of the most dangerous batsmen in world cricket out in your first 2 overs. Richard Creasy, take a bow. This has been a seriously good spell of bowling. We've got another message through here. There's a question. It says, will third man Tom Weston be recording this and creating a highlights package? We've all seen his ability to edit videos, and he seems to be a man with far too much time on his hands. I think that's a fair summary of of my life at the moment. I think it's fair to say that I'm probably not teaching enough. And yes, I think a highlights package might be in the offing. It really depends on how this over goes. I think this is a really big over in the match.
I'm saying 13.
13. I've got I'd have taken above Mayno's 15. So you've got under, I've got over. We'll see how this goes. You see, I just don't think you can be bowling those sort of lengths to England's captain. So,
I've unfortunately managed to miss all of this over so far. What's been dispatched?
So first ball was a dot, and then he's bowled a classic short ball that is
classic
half tracker, and it's been dispatched to the fence.
He's nothing if not consistent.
Tell you what, it could be.
That's a shot.
15 plus is on here. Morgan showing no mercy for the young man, but yeah, it's pointed out there were 2 slips in place at the start of the over. I think and we've still got 2 men in. We've got a slip in what looks like a gully.
I mean, I'm all for confident bowling, but Maine just needs to read his situation a little bit better here.
Yeah,
it's a smart bit of fielding there.
Taking one of the men out now. And they've got the 2 men back, which suggests they're looking for another short ball. We'll have to see.
Right there.
Good work in close from Finesse there. So it's 10 off the over with 1 ball remaining.
Oh,
Wait.
really good.
He's pulled that back remarkably well. Finishes that over strong. And there's no surprises here that Creasy's going to continue. You absolutely love to see it. Creasy
Oh,
just bowling a good line and length. He's coaxed through into the drive, and has that carried. Well, Feeks manages to put his gloves into the floor to take that one. But I believe it's carried, and he goes. Creasy's absolutely tearing
That's
through the
close.
top order.
that's really close. I'm not sure I'd be taking that catch as a batsman. I've got to be honest.
Tell you what, Creasy, considering he was almost going to be late for this game because he was stuck at stuck at the Rains Park Waitrose. I'm very glad that they waited for him because he's carrying the team here.
Big batsman come in now.
Joss the boss to the crease. Creasy 3 for 12 off 2.2. He's absolutely flying.
I think we might also be in danger of being joined by Andy Stevens fairly soon. He probably isn't yet aware of the spectacular theatrics he caused earlier in the game.
Oh, that sounds like a real treat. That's a.
Joined watching, not.
Yeah,
not
it's just a pleasure to have him on.
Along with us, but
Just a pleasure to have him on board in any form. I know he likes to retrospectively go back and watch these games, so it's nice to have him along. But
he's unfortunately being spent a lot of the afternoon watching Sheffield United get spanked. But
oh yes, yeah. That didn't sound too healthy there. But I tell you what, I think the wheels are starting to come off for Creasy here. You've got Butler, a little bit unconventional, really going at him, and I'm not sure he really knows how to respond.
I mean, I'll be honest, it's a benefit that he's got Root out. Obviously, really dangerous player. Probably wouldn't have given him a third over.
Yeah, I think
he won him for the end.
Yeah, you're right. This is really maybe he's getting a little bit more out of the ball, and they're thinking maybe they just want to squeeze that little bit of extra movement out that he's finding in the pitch as well. But you're right. I think the third over is gamble. It's got Root out, but really maybe they should have been getting through some of the other bowling. Again, though. No, go for it, Ben.
I definitely need to be starting on the slightly slower pace bowling fairly soon. Weston, Alkins, anyone, just get them on. I'd say. There we go. This is what we like to see.
It's a really unconventional shot first up, but I think that's what you'd expect from having Butler and Morgan at the crease. They're going to be trying every trick in the book here to try and squeeze as many runs out of Alkins as possible. But this man's a wily bowler. We'll have to see what he's got up his sleeve.
What's the situation on how are they doing on that? They're not far off track, are they?
Yeah, no, they're up with the rate. They're sort of up with the rate, but if they keep, losing wickets at this sort of rate, they could find themselves in a bit of trouble.
Do bat deep though, England. Always a worry.
They do indeed bat deep. And that is an excellent cricket shot. Man out there, I thought might have been underneath it. But I think just enough has been done.
He's going to need to be 20 feet back if he wants to catch that, I think.
And again, it's good cricket. The men on the fence. He just decides to run it down there, take the single, get off strike. There's a man in fine form, Joss Butler. So yeah, the equation is 117 off 79 balls. It's it's incredibly doable, especially on a track like this. The Giants really need to be looking to pick up another wicket or two.
it's doable, but it does. I think it's just something in the back of the batsman's mind. It's not the easiest, not the easiest score to get. And when you've got quite a few wicket threats in the Giants bowling lineup, it's always a tough one to just keep ticking on for the England batters.
So it looks like Creasy's just going to bowl through here, which is an interesting decision. But I say that he's on absolute fire here, Creasy.
Oh, bowl him! Knocked him over.
Ben, I was going to question the decision from Brian Finesse to bowl him out, but you know what? It's first ball and he's done that. That's absolutely fantastic bowling. 4 for 21 now for Creasy. He's absolutely flying here. Stokes, the danger man, brought to the wicket a little bit earlier than maybe he would have liked.
Yeah, he wants to be there over 12, but here he is at what, over 7.
Yeah, he's
crikey.
That's completely changed the complexion of this game. I mean, Butler is the set man at the other end, and I think he will prove dangerous. And really, they need to get one of these guys out quite soon. Otherwise, the game could still flip England's way.
I think my real worry here is who comes on after Creasy. He's been the only man so far who's been able to cause any sort of trouble to these England batters.
I think you're right. They've really got to rack their brains to see if they've got any other sort of medium pacers in the locker who could just go line and length. Perhaps it's a day for Brian himself to come on from this end and perform a very similar job.
Yeah.
It might just be the right way to go.
It's a shame you've not got a Rohan Singh in the lineup.
It is a real shame you haven't got a Rohan Singh in the lineup today. He was unavailable, unfortunately, as he seems to be when he goes off to India for most of the summer and only really plays at the start and the end. So it wouldn't have been fair to include him in the lineup today. But you know, to have the medium, exactly, to have the medium pace here has been fantastic. We've got a couple of comments from.
I mean, that's a.
Go on, Ben. Go on.
It's a superb spell. That. Sorry, it's a superb spell. There's some Creasy finishing off now, but I think you'd really hope it. Can he get his 5?
Just
it's a really good bit of cricket.
His line has just wavered slightly there, and is unfortunate. But that's still a fantastic spell of bowling from Creasy, and really got the Giants to command.
A really good spell.
Definitely. Got a couple
Sorry,
of comments
you were saying about the contact. Yeah.
Yeah, we've got a couple of comments. So first of all, we've got one from Andy Stevens saying, "Seems like a finely poised game now." And can he just say how lovely Young's lid is looking in the commentary box after a couple of rough weeks post his lockdown haircut? The Brill Cream boy is back. Have you got anything to say to that, Ben?
I mean, yeah, no, I've had a couple of lockdown haircuts, I have to say, actually. Last one was a couple of weeks ago now, but I'm glad that it's looking good. I did get a comment the other day that apparently I was looking a little bit like Natalie Portman in V for Vendetta. My hair very, very short, but been back since then.
It's good to see a little bit more volume on the top of your head. That's good to see. And we've
Those
also got
mousses you can get are actually really good, and they do work.
Oh yes, to really give it a little bit more oomph to impress all those people within your house. That's and on Zoom. It's really good to see. We've also got a comment from Brian saying Orkins into the attack now. Looks to have lost weight during lockdown. Well, you know, he's looking trim. I think the boys have been on a really good fitness regime. Is there anything to be said for that, Ben? How have you been keeping in shape through lockdown?
Sorry, Tom, I just lost you there, mate.
For the viewers at home and for the benefit of the tape, I think Ben's internet's dropped out conveniently there, so he didn't answer my question about fitness regimes. Ben, how have you been keeping yourself in shape during that?
Well, so I've been keeping myself in shape. I've got an even plate of 3 cookies in front of me at the moment, which I'm working my way through. So I really sticking to the diet the trainers have put forward for us. It's an important part of the game. No one can overlook it.
No, I think that's very true. It's all about that diet, and to be able to be loading on with cookies, ready for your second spell is a really important part. I'm also not going to lie, I completely forgot Oliver Ness was playing in this game, so it's really good to see him come into the attack.
No, he's a useful little bowler as well. He throws down. He does get wickets as well.
That's unfortunate that the man on the square leg boundary hasn't quite cut that one off. It's a really good shot. We've
Not
got a
sticking
couple
to
more.
the fitness regime.
No. Couple more comments coming in. Ketan says, "What a performance from Creasy, on for a 5-wicket haul." Well, unfortunately, he hasn't made that, but I think a 4 for in a T20 really is equivalent to a 5-wicket haul anywhere else. That's my own opinion. It might be slightly biased, but
Agreed.
yeah. And then we have a comment from Henry saying he'd love to have a bowl soon. He's been warming up in the outfield since the start. He's starting to wonder if he was solely selected for his fielding. Yeah, Henry, I think you might have a point. It's unfortunate when you're not the senior spinner in the side, but Tom Hawkins has been on taking wickets consistently, and I did have to tone down Henry's bowling ability when he took a 4 for in his first game. So I guess it's up to the captain at the end of the day. But Ben, with so many bowling options, how do you keep the players happy?
Well, I think I can see Henry swinging his arms around in the outfield from our commentary position up here. He's clearly desperate for a bowl. I think personally, I quite like the idea of a few tweakers going around. Maybe Finesse is saving for 4 straight at the kind of the middle to late 8 overs period. I think that's the only bit of hope Henry can have now. Otherwise, he might have a sad day telling the parents what he's done with his days. He kind of batted 8 and didn't bowl. It's a tough life. Someone has to play the role in the team.
So it's a really useful over from Ola there. And as we can see, we've got Brian bringing himself into the attack, hoping to replicate Creasy's success early on. But no, a really strong over from Ola there. We've got some more chat coming in here, Ben. We've got Nick Main has suggested that actually Nick's job should be just fielding. I tend to agree with that, Nick. I think that's a very very fair point and the most sense I've read on the group all day. I've also got a comeback.
Specialist backstop is a maligned position these days.
Yeah, really. If you look at the sort of the quality of fielding in the outfield, if we had a team of Nick Mains in the field, I think we'd be cutting off about 10 to 20 runs a game. We've also got a message coming through from Henry saying it's all well and good that Tom Hawkins is the number one the frontline spinner in the team, but did he get into Wisden? Now that is a good point. I believe if you
a man's got to dine out on something for the rest of his life.
But I think if you go back onto one of the Wisdens from the late 2000s, something around that sort of time, you'll find an HD Weston, which actually isn't Henry's name. So I don't think it's the same person. Henry's HP Weston. So I think this is actually a falsified claim to actually appearing in Wisden. So we'll move on from that. How's this over going?
Well, I was just going to ask you that. My connection's a little bit dodgy. I can't really see what's going on.
That's all right. That's all right.
I can't even see what the equation in the game is.
Ben, I think it's better if you don't see what's going on. So 10 has been taken off the over so far. It's got some good hitting from Stokes. Stokes is 22 off 12. 85 from 55 is the current asking rate. Butler's looking set 24 off 18. Yes, Stokes is now 23 off 13. So you've got 2 set batsmen. I don't know what they're going to do here, but we really need to shake something up. Ola, after a first initial good over, is coming back for a second. And he went for 6 off the first one. And this field seems right. It seems like the right thing to do. Give them that single on the leg side. They really need to protect the boundaries.
I like it.
We've got Brian also mentioning that he may bring Ketan on, as it's hard to get the leverage to hit a double bouncer over the ropes for 6. Is that a drop? I missed.
Oh,
I missed
no.
That. I think that's a drop in the outfield. That is
can't be dropping things at this stage of the game.
Oh, we're going to get a replay on that one. So it's a short ball high on the bat as he's trying to pull that away. And the man running in for the rope, it looks like Andy Stevens has put the man down.
An absolute sitter.
Unfortunate there. He's done well to get into position early, and it's very unfortunate. I think they might make him pay.
I have to say it's something that does get into the minds of the other fielders there. He needs to keep the standards very high in situations like this.
Yeah, I think this is it's a really, really well balanced here. We've got 2 questions coming in from Andy Stevens actually. So this could be a little bit salty after we've just had a go at him. So Andy asks, how are match fees being handled? Presuming we just hand them over to Owen at the end of the game. Also, do they want the covers on or off after we've finished? Shotgun just collecting the 30-yard circle discs. Well, Andy, your fielding performance hasn't been the best. We'll probably pop a fine on top of your match fee. But yeah, I think England are collecting them. So it's the same, £5 for the under 23s, £10 for the over 23s, and we'll go from there. But we're going to fine you for that drop. But it's absolutely Ben. I think the chat's pinging off a little bit too much.
Is it? I've not been keeping an eye on it.
I cannot keep up with it, so we're going to have to ignore it for a little bit. And I think Brian might have lost the plot here. Judging by who's just brought into the attack.
Oh,
wow. You know what?
Oh no.
You've got to try. You've got to try everything. So you never know. This man.
If you don't dice with danger, how are you ever going to work it out?
That's true. This man is literally living off the fact that he almost got Gary Butcher and Sean Davis out in back-to-back balls. And he's still dining out on that one, 5 or 6 years later. So and
I
don't
quite like the
Canadian
field, though. At least
you... And we've been slagging him off, but the field is good, and he's got the breakthrough.
Oh no, I've not seen it yet.
Oh no, I mean, we must be quite far behind. But have you seen that now, Ben?
I've still got nothing, I'm afraid. I don't know what's happened.
Oh, I'll tell you what, right, well, I'm going to have to talk to the listeners on that. Andy's made up for his earlier error, and Josh Butler's gone for 29. Mano, the partnership breaker, has gone and taken a vital wicket at this stage.
Caught by finesse out on the boundary, was it?
I thought it was Andy.
Stevens, actually.
Oh, right. Well, maybe not the earlier drop.
Exactly.
Now, Ben, if you're Moeen coming into the crease, the equation's 72 or 46. What's going through your mind?
I think I'll probably block out an over here, Tom, if I'm Moeen Ali. It's the only sensible thing to do.
You got the man set at the other end. It's a tantalising equation, really, here. Henry has actually gone and found the page and wisdom that he's in and sent it through to the group. So he's definitely not salty at all.
I mean, I've got to be honest. If I was in Wisdom, I'd probably tell a couple of people about it as well. So fair play to the boy.
We're looking here, and if you look around, everyone else in this top wickets in schools cricket has bowled over 100 overs. Henry's sat on 82 overs bowled. He's averaged 10.17 with the ball and has taken 34 wickets, which is only 7.
Pretty good return.
So the top man is M. Haranath, which I imagine is probably a relation to Arun Haranath.
Must be.
Cricketer, because they're both at Tiffin. And has bowled
under
half.
He's on though.
Is he on?
Henry Weston's into the attack.
Oh, it's worked. It's there's a moral of the story to any young lads wanting a bowl. If warming up doesn't work, slap a big old book in front of the captain and see if that one works. But Moeen really can play the spin. He's one of the best players in the England side at playing spin. So We'll have to see how this goes.
Over the ropes, I think, is where it goes.
Yes. It's coming round.
That's
the
a
wickets.
really nice shot.
That is a lovely shot. They've left the space there if he wants to go again. But that's better bowling. Stokes 35 off 20. He's definitely the danger man here at the moment and can really force the issue. 62 needed off 39 balls. It's still very much in the balance, this game.
It's good, really good cricket this so far.
I'm a big fan of this field actually as well, Ben. He hasn't, reacted to the fact that Moeen's hit him over third man. Hasn't put the man out there. He's kept the men where he thinks they should be.
I quite like that because when someone's got confidence enough to try and hit you through third man, keeping a little gully in there or just a wide backward point is, I think, quite a nice position to have because it just keeps them in their mind that if they want to play it again, they have to play it right. You've got a safety net there if they don't want to have it. Though of course they have now taken that man out, but that's fine.
Very different field to Stokes.
Yeah,
and Stokes has taken advantage of that. I'm afraid. I just wonder why that field seems so good to Ali. They should have really kept something similar, I think, personally. But it's still a decent over. Still a decent over as Main continues from the pavilion end.
one tight over either way. One tight over or one big over here does swing it a lot.
Yeah, I think you're right, and that's a good start for England in that over there. Moeen really just using the pace and guiding that into the gap.
I mean, he's got to be careful now. Can't let himself get taken away.
Yeah, he's really got to work hard here to ensure that he stays in this over and doesn't go for serious runs. So that's 5 off the first 2, and the set batsman's now on strike. So we'll have to make sure this field is correct. He's got a man. Oh, he's got the man out there for the long hop. Fantastic. He's got 2 men out there for the long hop. It's a clever field. We've got a message just in from Henry saying if we don't get Stokes out, we lose. I think he's probably got a point. He's
a really good finisher.
Yeah, my question is how? How do you get a set Ben Stokes out?
I think you set him up. You set him up for the old bumper trap is what I'd go for.
Have
a long leg, a cow corner, and then maybe also, long leg and cow corner, and just throw him some bumpers and see what he does with it. Like if he hits you over the rope, he hits you over the rope. But if he doesn't, you've got men there to catch him. Is what I'd do. I'd probably get spanked for quite a lot of 6s though if I was playing.
And Ben, I have to question, is this really the right tactic to Moeen Ali? With this field, it just feels slightly wrong, and he's punishing it.
It's one big over that swings it here.
No, this is not looking promising for the Giants. This is swung right back in the favour of England. That's what 14 off the over so far.
You want to go back to pace off, I'd say.
Yeah, it's been working.
What's the equation now? 43 off 26 or something?
Off 31.
Oh no.
That's a good throw in for the boundary. Looks like they just run the single there. So we'll have to see the equation, but it's definitely tight. I think you're right. Pace off the ball seems to be working best. So I'll be interested to see where Brian
not half trackers.
Goes. Definitely not. They've started with Western. It's 42 off 30. That was a large over. Moeen is now set, 20 off 13. He's looking good. Stokes at the other end is set, but hasn't had much of the strike recently.
Dot balls is what you need to try and build up here, and I think that's what a bowler like Weston really does for you.
Yeah, I think he's just going to try and really starve him of any room. If you want to go offside, you're going to have to create some room for yourself there. So it's really good, intelligent bowling, just sort of firing it in, just keeping the run rate down. It's good bowling.
I think it's also been quite impressive about this England batting performances. There aren't the standouts. Everyone's contributed.
Mm.
Oh, That was close.
Bit of width, but it's almost worked. Yeah, it's an interesting field they've got. They've got that point in place and also that point on the boundary.
Deep backward point, deep
Yeah,
cover
yeah.
point, cover, or yeah, extra cover and long off as well. And that's nowhere near anyone. That's
Henry's
a rubbish bit of bowling, I've got to
That
say.
is, yeah. Henry's pointed out that they saved him for the lots of left-handers down the order, which I think is the point. But he hasn't really shown to be turning the ball that much today, which is unfortunate. Unfortunate, but you know, if you're bowling boundary balls at this stage of the game, it's a difficult one. How do you set a field to that?
You know, it's a very smart bit of fielding out there as well, though.
It really is.
Yeah, actually, look, in the scheme of things, this is what, a 6-run over so far, which is not, or 7-run over. That's not bad.
Ooh, I think that could have been a drop. I'm not quite sure what's happened there. It's a little edge off the bat, I think.
Oh.
So unlucky to be put down, but here we go. They're going for the wheels again, which I don't know. I'm not sure if that's the right decision from the captain.
I wouldn't be bringing me on at the moment, I've got to say.
I'm also not quite sure about this field. I think it really runs away square of the wicket, and unless you're bowling very straight, it's a bit of a risk. They've changed it slightly.
Oh.
33 off 23 is the equation. You have to back.
You've got to have money on England here. You've got to.
Yeah, I completely agree. As you know, 2 set batsmen, 2 internationally recognised batsmen.
Oh, that's a good bit of bowling, though, Ben.
A lot of experience with, of playing in front of big international crowds. But Ben has pulled out a very nice delivery there. So we'll see what the rest of this over has to offer.
Bowling in here.
Oh dear.
I don't see the ball that he's going to bowl here. The field's set for nothing.
And Moeen has dispatched that.
Yeah.
No, it's
a
just
straight half volleys. Thanks very much, isn't it?
It's a very nothing ball, and you know, a batsman as good as with the class of Ali, you know, when he's on song, he's just going to dispatch that. He's 34 off 19, confidence brimming. That break from international cricket has done him a world of good.
We need a wicket time here, boys.
Yeah, as I think this could have been the wrong option. I think it's coming down to some captaincy here. You've got some, you know, pace off the ball going well. You've got Ola Finesse, who's not been going for that much, and you know, he's gone for young and potentially not the right thing to do here.
I'd have to agree.
Couple more messages we got in. Henry said, "Think Ben's got some extra pace. Maybe it's those biscuits in his diet, his chocolate digestive." Yeah, I think it might be right. And Andy said that the Wimbledon Express has just been sent to Wimbledon there. I think truer words have not been spoken. This is 19 off 19 is the equation. This is the over that's really swung it.
This is it, yeah.
But you know what? It's 2 set men, and I think they're just enjoying the pace on the ball. It's the wrong decision from the captain. You can't blame the bowler too much. It was always going to go. But let's see if Weston can pull off some magic here. Or whether it's a bit too little, too late. It's well negotiated. It's a ball with a little too straight, and it's, you know, worked through well. But I think that must be Stokes. And the Giants really don't have an answer here.
It's a shame, a real shame, this, because it looks like it's going to fizzle out. But I think also what the Giants might have been lacking, as well as frankly the 3 overs from Young haven't been what they needed to be. We're lacking 20 runs, and it's the Oval, and having 200 at the Oval is quite a nice place to be in. Having 180, it's always going to just be a little bit difficult to defend.
I think you're right, Ben. We have to go back to that 19th over from Chris Wokes to Brian Finesse, only really going for 1. If you look at that in the context of this match now, that was probably the turning point. You know, the Giants were on top up until that stage, and Wokes pulled that back so fantastically well.
That's a smart bit of fielding, though, out there.
That's true. That was very, very good fielding. But you know, the equation 8 off 15. This is, you know, only going one way now, which is a shame. A real shame, because the Giants have put up a real good fight against a confident England side. But these 2 men have really taken the game away from them. Now, we've got a question coming in, Ben, and this one's for you.
Mm.
Do you think that Creasy can get man of the match even in a losing team?
I don't think so. I think it's got to go to. What were Ali's figures were a bit shocking in the first.
So
innings, weren't
Stokes got a 2-for and went at 9 and over. So it could.
You might,
yeah.
Oh. Creasy was the only man who's really given the Giants a bit of a sniff. So
yeah,
potentially, but
yeah, it's a difficult one to really award to the losing side when you've got a man like Stokes who's really. There's a late shout, but I think that's too high. There's a bit too much height on that. I wonder if they review this just as the last throw of the dice. They're having a little conversation. They've chosen not to review it, which is a bit bizarre, considering they might as well. But it did look a little bit high, and it looks like everyone wants to go home. Maybe they're losing the light a bit, so they've kept Young on. And that
north
moves,
of
that single
41.
there. Mo and Ali take it to 50 off 25 balls. Now, if you're talking about an innings that's really changed this game, potentially it's Ali's here, and coming in at a time where the game is really in the balance. That's a really, really good knock.
I think he's probably my choice.
I think it probably has to go to him. Yeah, he's certainly provided that impetus and has taken that starring role away from Stokes, which
no
mean
feat that.
I thought we were going to have to see 60, 70 from Stokes here to really see England home, but the contribution from Ali has been really fantastic.
I was saying earlier on that the marking thing about the England team has been that they've not had any standout 50s or 70s like we had in the Giants, but we've got two players who've worked themselves up to 250s pretty much, and ultimately that's what's taken the game away.
No, definitely, Ben. And what do you think about going into selection for next week? Are there going to be wholesale changes how to make to this Giants side to make them more competitive in the future?
I'm not sure Young's got a game next week, I've got to be honest.
It's
been a pretty shoddy performance. Creasy's almost when he comes back, he stays in.
I think that sums it up, Ben. I think that sums it up. Hit out to the boundary. I think that's Hawkins out on the fence. He's gone round to try and catch that, and he's caught it over the rope. That's Ben Stokes making his way to 50. An England win.
I've not seen this highlight yet. This can be good. Oh dear. England win by 5 wickets. He has just caught it over the boundary. That's hysterical. Yeah, I mean, Creasy's an obvious standout. I'd say that, look, in all honesty, no one's done anything too bad for the Giants there, apart from Young. But I think you just need a little bit more variation in the bowling lineup. I think that's what we really lacked. I think what it shows here is tempo and control in the bowling is really important, making the batsmen earn their runs rather than giving them a lot of pace and a lot of width and nice and easy to just swing their hands through. But forcing them to be a little bit more active in the way that they're looking to create the runs is Chris Wokes' 19th over, I think, was the example of how to bowl on this oval pitch.
Yeah, no, I think you're right, Ben. I think we have to acknowledge there with that final shot, both Ben Stokes and Ben Young's 50s were brought up. So it was quite a pivotal final ball there. But to see Creasy 4 for 29 off his 4 is just really, really good bowling, and a very strong economy rate at the oval opening up. That's no mean feat. And then you look at the rest of the bowling. You look at Hawkins and Finesse. The bowl tight. Like going at that sort of rate is really good. Weston actually pulled that one back, maybe a little bit too late. You look at the over, the overs left there. There's a lot of potential for those guys who've maybe gone at a lower rate to really get on and to squeeze that game a little bit more.
And if you think back as well to the England bowling, the ones you got, the ones who went were the ones who were the Joffres, people like that. Joffre got dispatched a little bit. Clearly, pace on is not the way to work.
Yeah, I mean, we mentioned it at the break in play, and it's a shame that the Giants haven't picked up on that a little bit quicker. To see that pace off the ball was definitely the way to go. And I think if they do come back and play here again, I think that would be, definitely something to keep in mind. Whether Brian keeps the captaincy or whether fearless leader Andrew Penfold comes back into the frame for next game, we'll have to wait and see. But I think they've put up a really good fight. I was worried at the start, Ben. I'm not going to lie. When I saw the Giants go into bat, I was worried that was going to be over very quickly, very early. But to see it go down to the
there've been some top individual performances today. Really good. I think the Giants can take quite a lot of strength out of it. Ultimately, an England team are probably a little bit stronger than your typical Giants team, but you take a lot of positives from a game like that. Onwards to next week. Who are we playing next? Oh, actually, interesting one to finish off on. Player of the match, Richard Creasy. Good to see that. Really like to see that. To see who actually really influenced the game quite a lot and made England think has been awarded.
I think so. Yeah, I think he's definitely been the pivotal player for the Giants today. Some very good performances all round, but unfortunately not quite enough. Next week, the opposition remains TBC. It was meant to be another new opponent in Albury, but we might have a think and see what we might do. It might be that we have a change in the commentary box. I might be keen to pass on the commentator's role to someone else if they're keen. I think this has worked quite nicely, Ben. So
I would agree. It's been good fun.
Ben, it's been an absolute pleasure to have you with me to commentate along for this game. It's a shame that we didn't get quite the result that we were hoping for, but at the end of the day, I think cricket's the winner. Are there any final words from you, Ben?
I think that's as you say, cricket's the winner in situations like this. You can never be, especially in times like we have now. It's these little victories you take out that are important. So no, I think I'll leave with your very nice words there, and we'll be back again next week.
Fantastic. Thank you all you guys for tuning in, and we'll catch you again next week. Thank you. And once I can work out how to turn this off, it will be cheerio. Right, hang on. Ben, always a pleasure.
It's all right.
Stop the share there. Fantastic. I don't know how to stop being live. Wait, there we go. Here we go.